Hello and welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we discuss and review all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. Please like, share, and subscribe and help build this channel up. We got more coming for you at some point. Right now there's, for me anyway, there's a drought, a famine on new product. But as I get them in, I'll be uploading. So yeah, stick with me. Don't worry about a thing. Anyhow, what we have before us today is from the company, relatively new company, Haolonggood. They actually did a collaboration with GR Toys on their Therizinosaurus. And a lot of people, just to be able to have this set be recognized, are referring to it as GR Toys, but it's really Haolonggood. They've done this on their own, independently. I'm speaking of Therizinosaurus. As you can see, they've got on the packaging a skeletal reconstruction of the Therizinosaurus. You see that it is listed at 135 scale. It has the name Therizinosaurus up top. Speaking of top, you've got that name there on the actual top of the box. On the other side of the box, you still have that skeleton, and Therizinosaurus is printed out a little bit larger, and you see it's got the claw marks there. So just a little bit about Therizinosaurus. Get this more centered. It was a theropod, believe it or not, from China, late Cretaceous, about 70 million years ago, Asia, and it lived alongside such creatures as the Tyrannosaurus, Tarbosaurus, Velociraptor, Protoceratops, Saurolophus, the ornithopod, the Hadrosaurolophus, Mononicus, I believe, and yeah, so it did live there. As theropods go, you obviously, just looking at the skeleton, you could tell that it was definitely unique. It was bizarre, actually. Its claim to fame is the forelimbs, those large claws on the forelimbs. Therizinosaurus means scythe lizard, or scythe, however you pronounce it. And it's for obvious reasons, because of those claws. The claws were they were over 1.5 feet long. The claws alone, not just talking about the forelimbs, the claws alone at the end of the fingers were 1.5 feet minimum, which is crazy. The creature itself grew to about 33 feet long, so it was pretty large. Another thing, it had a pot belly, longer neck than most theropods, and small head. I mean, everything was like almost backwards in reverse. Small head, long neck, pot belly, and unlike theropods that rested their weight on 3 of their 4 claws, the fourth raised up off the ground, not having any weight on them at all, known as dew claws. Therizinosaurs actually walked on all 4 toes, so that was something different too. Oh, and let's not forget, they were herbivorous. Some accounts have them as omnivores, but they were definitely herbivores. Oh, and they had shorter tails than most theropods. But enough about the science lesson. Let's get our Therizinosaurus out of the packaging. Including in the packaging for Therizinosaurus is this little insert from Haolonggood. You see it has 2 of their models. You can see that Therizinosaurus comes in 2 different colors. You've got purplish kind of color, which you see there on the right, and then it's hard to discern on the left, but it's kind of like a black and white sort of color as far as the body goes. I've seen straight up pics of it, so definitely different. And as far as this purple is concerned, I kind of think that they got it twisted there, because I don't recall seeing a purple one. Ours is a reddish color, as you will see, but I digress. On the back, you have another illustration of the skeleton of Therizinosaurus, and yeah, so pretty cool. Also included is this base, and you can see it's very, very nice. It's got a little puddle of water there, which is cool. Some moss, it looks like, as far as the surface is concerned. You've got a broken branch there, rock protrusion, looks like right there, a little cliff. But here's the front. This is the actual front of the base. It's got, I would assume, the name of the creature itself, and quite possibly the name of the company. But since I can't read Asian dialect, we will just assume. But yeah, this is all in all pretty nice base. Short little fun story about the base too. I actually ordered the Therizinosaurus several weeks ago, and mistakenly only ordered the base. I got mine from AliExpress, and I accidentally chose the wrong option, and I should have known better, because the base was only like 26 bucks by itself, and I don't know what I was thinking. And so when I received it, I was all happy, and then dismayed when all I got was this. But the base is so nice that I wasn't dismayed for long, because this base also works perfectly with the Eofauna Diplodocus. So I've got my Diplodocus, or Diplodocus, however you want to pronounce it, standing on the other one. So waste not, want not. But here we have our Therizinosaurus on our rotating base, giving you a 360-degree visual of the model, and I must say it is gorgeous. What I can tell you is, as far as that insert, that leaflet that I previously shown, and it had one of the models seemingly painted purple. As you can see, the only thing purple on my model is the head portion of the figure. So at least they got that right, and it looks pretty good. You see that it's like a fiery red with stripes, mostly black and some white around the neck. You have some white plumage around the belly, and of course you've got feathers going down the tail. The entire animal is dressed in feathers, as they believe that Therizinosaurs and Dinocyrus were basically feathered, and which would be something to see, considering how large these animals are. And yes, I hope someone gives us a Dinocyrus at some point too, because I like the look of that critter as well. Anyhow, let's get our Therizinosaurus off the base and check him out. So here we have our Therizinosaurus off the base, and like I said, you can see it's a very, very pretty paint job on it. It is a pretty incredible paint job. It's unfortunate, and when I'm saying that, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's unfortunate that there are some inaccuracies going on here, and you'll see what I mean when I get to it. Anyhow, despite that, we still have a very beautiful looking model here, and try to look at it from the other side there, give you an idea. So you could see, looking at that head sculpt, you see what I'm saying about how it's nice and purple. Especially the top of the head, the feathering is straight like that. Let's take a closer look at that head. So as you can see, once again, beautiful color with the head sculpt. Unfortunately, we don't get an articulated jaw with this one. It would have been very nice to have that feature with the creature, but you see we've got the nice eyes. The eyes are basically red with black pupils. You see the purple fur. You've got some scalation right there on the skull, and trying to look in that mouth, you can see that as best as we can. Being that the head is so small, it's difficult to see, but maybe you could tell. You can see that Haolonggood gave us a nice wet mouth. You see the teeth in there, pretty nice. And where am I at here? There we go. Then going down a bit to that neck, you see what I'm talking about with the it has the it's fiery red, and you've got black and white striping going down that neck, and it's like that both sides. Looking at this side of the creature, looks pretty good too. You got that scalation, very consistent. Where the mouth opens, the connecting tissue between the upper and lower jaws looks very nice and wet there. You see the detail in the feathering, so that's pretty nice too. So yeah, looking pretty good there. Let's see if our boy stands up on his own. He is kind of top heavy. Yep, he wants to go. Anyway, let's see what we got here. He should be good to go at some point. Anyhow, we're going to zoom out to look at the rest of him. All right, going down the way here with our Therizinosaurus, we're going to, of course, just get right to it with those claws. You see the large claws there, and keep in mind they are representative of claws that are at least a 1.5 feet long. And I'm telling you, whomever got swiped with these, they had a bad day. I'm talking to you, Tarbosaurus, whom Therizinosaurus lived alongside. You see along the forearms there, you've got the feathering, got the fiery red, you've got the stripes, black, white, and the claws, the hands, the paws, if you will, you could see they're different color. They kind of sort of lead into a slight purplish. The claws themselves, they're tan. They start off darker and then they work their way into a light color there, and pretty cool. The arms are not articulated. Everything is just static and fixed. You could see there, as I was stating about the stripes going right there along the spine and other sides. You could see the pot belly of the Therizinosaur, and of course the feathering there, the plumage there has lightened up and gotten white there. Underbelly, no feathers, and of course light colored underbelly. Looking at the underside of the claws, you see there's some scalation right there, so that's pretty cool. You get that on both sides there. And then going down the legs, it's got more of that striping and the feathering, and you've got some white there. It's different, it goes tan and kind of white. Then when you get down to the thighs, got nice meaty thighs. You can see the scales there, and going right down scalation to those bird-like feet. And speaking of the feet, therein lies the inaccuracy. So let me see if I can let you see what I'm talking about. We're going to get close up. So looking at the foot here, this is the right foot. You can see it looks like the foot of a typical theropod. The 3 toes and the dew claw that's raised up off the ground. Therizinosaurs, they all 4 of their toes were on the ground. They put their weight on all 4 of their toes, so this was an unfortunate inaccuracy. You can see, obviously the same thing with the left side. The way how the Therizinosaur, he's pushing off with his left leg, so from certain angles it almost looks like all 4 are on the ground, but they all should have been on the ground anyway. Continuing on, we got to the tail. We've got more tufts of feathering right there at the hind leg, you see there, and then we go to the tail, which once again is not the typical length of most theropods. The tail of this theropod is less than the length of the body, which is definitely kind of opposite of theropods. So, but if you look, it looks beautiful. You see the plumage there with the feathers coming out in a green, adorning the perimeter of the tail. So it looks very, very nice. You got that on both sides. So yes, that is our Therizinosaurus right there. Pretty nice. Therizinosaurus is coming in at, let's see what we can do here, a little over 9.5 inches. So that would calculate at the 1/35th scale. You do your math there. This is representative of about a 28.5 foot long animal. So it's basically in there with your 1/35th scale. You know what I'm saying? So this could be a young, almost fully grown Therizinosaur. And now for some comparisons. I don't have Parasaurolophus in my collection at all. What I collect hasn't put out any yet, so none from PNSO, none from GR Toys, none from W Dragon, none from Rebor, you know. So I did the next best thing. I came up with the Parasaurolophus for a comparison, since they were of similar size, so you get to see that. So yeah, both pretty large animals. And of course, the comparison we all really want to see. We've got Therizinosaurus up against the Parasaurolophus. Yes, indeed. And I'm sure these guys, they had some classic battles. This has to be, in terms of battles, equivalent to Tyrannosaurus Rex and Triceratops, Allosaurus and Stegosaurus. This had to be a sight to behold. So to close us out, as we look at the Therizinosaurus on its base for the first time, and it looks very, very nice on this base. Very nice. In case you guys were wondering, I've got the base spun around the other way for the Diplodocus, so that way there's no mistaking with the writing there that Diplodocus is part of Haolonggood. So and it looks better that way for that dino. This looks great as is. I mean, if you want, you could spin it around. It doesn't matter. But this was more or less the way it was meant to be displayed on the base, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am loving it, and yeah, that's going to do it for the review. Any of my thoughts before I do get out of here about the review? Once again, the coloring is absolutely beautiful. The purple at the head, the fiery red with the stripes, the claws look wonderful, and of course the plumage at the end of the tail is spectacular. The caveat, of course, are those feet. You know, it should be resting on all four toes. And but I don't know if Haolonggood just got it wrong or they just took artistic liberties. Either way, it is inaccurate from the ankles down, put it that way. It would have been nice to have an articulated jaw, but we didn't get that. But the model does look great as is. It's in scale with the other 135 figures, so it'll look just nice with them. It'll look good with that PNSO Parasaurolophus and other dinos that you will have, whatever display you have. If you're sticking with that 135 scale mentality, kind of like how I do, it'll be all good. Anyhow, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments below, questions, concerns, critiques, your thoughts, anything I may have gotten wrong. Hit me up, get at me. And yeah, we're trying to grow this channel, very small, very fledgling, and we're trying to build it as we fly it. We're crawling along, but hey, that's what you got to do before you walk, right? So it is what it is. So anyway, once again, Brachiosaurus Rex, thank you guys, and take care.